Hi guys, Peter Finch here, and I'm just doing a video today comparing hitting a 3-wood off a tee to hitting it off the deck. The differences you should be seeing within your technique, but also the differences you will see within the ball flight, within the distances within the height and the trajectories as well, using the flight scope, the X2, just to give you the data and the feedback. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk you through the differences in each shot. I'm then going to hit 5 shots with it off the tee, 5 shots with it off the deck, show you the ball data and just explain a little bit about what's happening at impact and the differences it will cause, so you have a better understanding of what you'll see when you're actually on the course. So first of all, 3-wood off the tee. Now there's a couple of things that change between the two techniques. So when it's off the tee to when it's off the deck, you will see some differences. Now first of all, when you're actually hitting a 3-wood off the tee, now I'm using my Aeroburner TP 3-wood here. It's got an X-stiff shaft and it does fly very, very well. It's almost a better kind of option than the driver. Sometimes it flies that well for me at the moment. But with the setup, with the 3-wood off the tee, I've just got it teed up a little bit here, not massively. You want the ball position just inside the left heel, very similar to a driver when the 3-wood's off the tee. It will be moved further back as it goes off the deck, and I'm playing this from maybe an inch inside my left heel, so just slightly further back than I would my driver. But technique-wise, it's that nice wide takeaway, moving through the way, just bumping those hips slightly, but then attempting to just get that spine angle tilted back a little bit at impact, and sweeping the ball up off the tee. Now, sweeping the ball up off the tee will give a higher angle of attack, launch the ball higher and further, and should carry it a little bit more distance. When the ball is off the deck, you want to be hitting it probably a little bit more level or even down to make sure you get the ball first. When it's off the deck, it's a lot harder to hit up on the shot, and that's, I imagine, what the ball data will actually show when we get onto it. So I'm just going to clip one away. So the ball position just inside the left heel. Nice wide stance, that tilt away with the spine. And swept away pretty nicely, slight fade. Distance-wise though, excellent actually. I do like this club. So that's the sweep away off the tee. Now, differences technique-wise within the 3-wood setup, and this is a shot that a lot of people do struggle with. But my ball position when it goes off the deck here is going to go slightly further back, so it's about an inch further back within my stance. I'm not going to actively try and help this ball up in the air through. If anything, I want to catch the ball first and then just bruise the ground afterwards. Now this will show my angle of attack is slightly on the descent or very, very level throughout the shot. I have to say at the moment in time I am actually hitting this very, very level. I'm picking it very cleanly off the surface, which isn't too bad of a thing, but we can get into that a little bit more later on. But ball first, and then if it does bruise the ground afterwards, that's absolutely fine. Now a lot of the changes for this will be made with the ball position just being slightly further back. The temptation that many people will have is to shift off a long way onto the right side. Try and stay nice and level. The weight will transfer into the right leg, but you don't want to be shifting off a long way. So, ball position just that slightly further back. I'm going to hold down the handle a little bit more as well, just for a little bit more control. Pretty much exactly the same setup and swing though, but just bottoming out the club just a little bit after the ball. So I didn't actually bruise the surface. Like I said, I'm picking this quite clean, but if you were to get it just after, that would be absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit 5 shots off the tee, 5 shots off the deck. I'm going to show you the data and just show you what you should be seeing different between the 2 shots. Okay, so I'll clip the 5 shots away with each club, and what I'm going to do now is just go through the data. Now, some of the first things you should actually be seeing with this, I'll throw the flight scope data up on screen, is the amount of launch between the 2. Now, when it's off the tee, the launch, initial and overall carries of the shot is increased because of the height and the launch that you attain at impact. And one of the big differences in this regard is angle of attack. So my angles of attack with my 3-wood off the tee, 4.7 up, 4.6 up, 5.7 up, 5.4 up, 3.9 up. So through the actual impact area, my club was on the ascending actual angle of attack. So the club was going from a lower point than the tee and moving up through the ball. Now getting up to 5.7, 5.4, that's actually quite a long way up. It's possible I was maybe trying to exaggerate it a little bit, but the results were very, very good as well. Now club head speeds kind of about 105 average. Smash factors decent as well. The wind today is a little bit kind of into and off the right hand side, but you can certainly see with the actual ball flights decently high, not bad distance, kind of getting up to about 250 yards. Now the big difference is dynamic loft here with the 3 wood when it was off the tee. 14, 8.2 a little bit low, and then 10, 13 and 13. So kind of about the true loft of that actual 3 wood. Now when I shift that down towards the tee, and this is where the big differences come, all of a sudden, off the deck, sorry, confusing myself. When it actually goes down off to the tee, my angles of off the deck, sorry, my angles of attack 1.8, 0.5, 0.6, 0.8, 2.2. So much more level through the actual point of impact. And to my dynamic loft, that drifts it down very, very low. So 9.2, 6.9, 8.7, 6.1, 9.4. So the dynamic loft of that 3 wood is greatly reduced as I come into impact. Now to the overall launch, that changes things significantly. Much lower, much flatter. Now the overall kind of distances here, maybe possibly because they're keeping a little bit lower out into the wind today. I had a total one of 261 actually. 261, 249, 248, 249, 240. But the actual amount of roll out there was actually pretty good as well, at least 10 yards, and on some of them up to about 20 yards as well. But the angles of attack reduced, the dynamic loft reduced, so the actual lofted impact reduced, sent the ball out much, much lower and got a little bit more of a penetrating flight. But that was simply just by changing my setup and just changing how I was moving through the ball. So rather than trying to hit up, just trying to hit level or down, but it's changed pretty much everything about the actual impact factors. And that changed a lot about the actual ball flight. So those are the differences that you should be seeing when you swap from a tee down onto the deck. But let me know how you get on. Just have a play around with those ideas. Like I said, there's videos on this channel already about how you can better hit 3 wood shots, but this is a real insight to what you should be seeing from that switch over from the tee to the deck. Only small changes, but a big impact. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on other social media platforms as well, and we will be seeing you down here very, very soon. And if you want to see me do more of these comparison videos, please comment in the box below and let me know.
Exactly. If you lose it like that, that's okay.